Hello, and welcome. It's week 2 of our credit series, and you're here with Elsie Terry, the founder of Money and Me 360, your transformational coach that's not only going to teach you how to manage your personal finances, but also how to create the life that you want. So with this particular series, I hope you were able to see part 1. If you were not able to see part 1, just simply click on the credit tab at the top of this page and you'll be able to see video 1. So once again, we are in our 3-week series. This is week 2, and today we're going to be talking about how to boost your credit score. So let's jump right on in and try to make this video as efficient and short as possible. I don't want to overload you with too much information about credit. So I'm going to give you a few tips on how to boost your credit score. So improving a bad credit score can seem like a daunting task, but in reality, it may not be that hard. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is pull your credit report. So there's no way to improve your score if you don't know where point A is. So in order to get to point B, we have to know where we are. And that is the first step. Pull your credit report. And in pulling your credit report, you want to make sure you pull your FICO score. I know many people get so confused about, well, not confused, but they don't realize that when they pull their reports, they want to make sure they're pulling their FICO scores, because the FICO score is what most lenders use in order to assess whether they're going to extend credit to you or not. So I know many people use resources like Credit Karma. Hear me clearly. Credit Karma is great for monitoring your credit and seeing what's on your credit. But when it comes to the actual credit score on Credit Karma, that is not a FICO score. They use their own system, which is a Vantage score. And that score can really vary from what your FICO score is. You may have a 600 with your Vantage score, and you may very well be at a 620, 635 with your FICO score. You really want to pay close attention to your FICO score. It's okay to use Credit Karma, but that is just your Vantage score. You really want to use Credit Karma as a free resource to see what exactly is on your credit report, okay? But as far as the scores, I really want you to go ahead and take a look at Experian. This has a free Experian FICO score. Discover Scorecard has a free FICO score. Okay, so those are 2 resources that you can use to gauge what your FICO score is. Okay, so how to boost your credit score. So number 1, you want to make sure that you pay your bills on time. Once again, referring back, I'm not going to jump back into video 1. You want to make sure you see video 1. But paying your bills on time is a large percentage of your credit score. So you want to make sure that you pay your bills on time. Even one late payment can make a difference negatively and impact your score. So make sure you pay outstanding bills or your credit card bills or recurring bills on time if you want to improve your credit score. Number 2, be mindful of your credit utilization ratio. So if you have a credit card and you want to make sure that you stay between 10 and 30% of your utilization. I hear you. How do you calculate that? All you do is take the available, the amount of your credit card. So let's say you have a credit limit of $100 for one credit card. You just multiply that by 0.30, and that will give you the 30% limit that you don't want to go over. So for instance, 100 times 0.30, that should be $30. You don't want to go past $30 on a $100 limit, okay? If you have $1,000 limit on a credit card, you just multiply 1,000 times 0.30. You don't want to go past, I don't know how much that is. Let's calculate that. 1,000, I'm not good with doing math in my head. 1,000 times 30%. You don't want to go past $300 on a $1,000 credit limit. So once again, the formula to find out what you don't want to go past, just simply multiply 0.30 times whatever your credit limit is, and that will give you the amount that you do not want to go over. Ideally, you want to stay under 10%. definitely stay under 30% utilization, because that will impact your score as well. So making sure that, number 2, you're mindful of your credit utilization, not just on one card, but all of your credit cards. And once again, credit cards are your revolving debt. Number 3, dispute inaccurate information on your credit report. Now, we have so many different credit repair companies, and most times, almost all the time, you can do exactly what they will do for you. They may headache out for you, but disputing inaccurate information on your credit report. So mistakes happen, and incorrect information can sometimes make its way to your credit profile. So making sure that you monitor your credit report is an easy way to uncover any false information or errors. So once again, if you see something that's wrong, whether your name is spelled wrong, the amount is wrong, anything that you see on your credit report that's not accurate. Now, if it's accurate, then you're lying if you dispute it. But if it's inaccurate, it is okay to dispute that information on your credit report. And once that's removed, most times you'll see a few points added to your credit score, okay? So in order to file a dispute, you want to make sure you do that in writing so that you can keep track of the timing in which you place that dispute, okay? And most times, not most times, but in general, the credit bureau has 30 days to investigate whether your dispute is accurate or not. So once again, when you're disputing something on your credit report, you're not disputing it necessarily directly to that creditor. You're disputing it with the credit bureau. So that's Experian, TransUnion, Equifax. Okay, you want to make sure that what's being depicted of you on your credit profile is accurate. If it's not accurate, you're able to dispute it, okay? So if it's something on there and you know for a fact that you paid it, and you have the evidence that you paid something off and it's still showing on your credit report as a negative, as if you didn't pay it, dispute that so that it could be removed. Okay, number 4. Avoid applying for too much credit. When you apply for too much credit, this signals to the credit lenders and the bureau that you can't afford the lifestyle that you're trying to live. So that will take a negative impact on your credit profile as well. And remember, when you apply for credit, that's an inquiry. So if you apply for credit, that's an inquiry. You can take between a 3 to 30 point drop on your credit. So make sure when you're applying that you're applying for something that you know you really need, okay? Don't just go applying because the person at Target offered you a credit card, because you're going to take a hit. It's going to be an inquiry. That inquiry is going to stay on your report for about not 7 years. I want to say about 2 years, and then it'll fall off. But who wants unnecessary inquiries on their credit for 2 years? Okay, so make sure you avoid applying for too much credit. So you want to make sure that you really adhere to these 4 tips, because you will see a significant impact with your credit score and your credit if you follow these 4 simple guidelines. I hope week 2 is going great for you. So make sure, 1, that you're, just to do a recap, that you're paying your bills on time. 2, be mindful of your utilization ratio. 3, dispute inaccurate information on your credit report. 4, avoid applying for too much credit. Okay, and then just making sure with all of these different elements, you should be on track to getting your credit to where you need it to be. Okay, and if you don't have any credit at all, the best thing that you can do is either do a self-lender account, and that's when you take out a CD and they report to the credit bureaus for you. It's called a self-lender account. I'm probably going to place a link in here so you can read more about it. If you don't have any credit at all, that's a great tool and a great resource. And simply you pay into it, but then you get your money back after a year or 2 years, whichever one you sign up for. The second way you can build your credit if you don't have credit is to become an authorized user, which simply means someone with good credit will allow you to be on their credit card, and all of the information that is within their profile for that particular credit card will transfer into your profile. In essence, you're piggybacking. You're an authorized user. They do not need to give you a card, but if they add you as an authorized user, this will help boost your credit score. So you have to make sure you choose someone who has decent credit or good credit. You don't want to be an authorized user on someone's account who has horrible credit. They don't pay on time. Their utilization is too high, because guess what? That's going to transfer to your report. You don't want that. You want someone who has great credit if you're going to ask them to be an authorized user. I hope this helps you today. Make sure you tune in next week, because I'm going to be talking about how to dispute on your credit report. Okay? Have a great day, guys.